All right, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are coming on, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, that the Lord has made. Let's rejoice and be glad in it. It is fabulous, favor, financial Friday, whatever you want to call it. Today is Friday and November the 19th. It's approximately 18 minutes after the hour. Of course, I am running a little behind. We have so much going on today at Ramon Preston Enterprises, and we're going to have a whole lot more going on between today and tomorrow. For those of you that are coming on, please do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the share button, tag Lolly Dolly everybody, and let them know Prophet Ramon, the squad, and the Ramon Preston Show. We are live in his house right here from the headquarters of Ramon Preston Enterprises in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. Tony, can you bring me that pack of folders on my desk? So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're watching from, please do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the share button, and drop in the comments, what city, what state, what country you watching your boy from, who you representing today. Please drop in the comments what city, what state, what country you are watching us from. Yes, thank you so much. And thank you. I appreciate it. We got a whole lot of things going on today. But guess what? We making it do what it do. It's a beautiful Friday, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this weekend. We're going to be hosting our final live event for 2021 tomorrow, literally right across from our global headquarters. There's a Marriott Buckhead Atlanta Conference Center, and we're going to be hosting our live event there tomorrow. It's going to be on sales and marketing, and so I just got one of the first prints of these beautiful workbooks that we're going to have available for those of you that join us in person and online. I wish I could share with you all the information that's in these workbooks on this show, but I'll be cheating my customers and clients out of some valuable life-changing information, so I'm not going to do that. But for those of you that are watching today, I want to take a few minutes to talk with you about my 6 top tips for sales and marketing. So if you're interested in developing a better sales process for your business, if you're interested in developing a better marketing process for your business and campaigns that you can put together to go into the market, get attention, make contacts, and get conversions. If you're interested in that, what I'm going to be sharing with you today will heighten your awareness on how important sales and marketing is. And if you are even more interested, we still have the offer available to you to join me tomorrow for a live event on sales and marketing. It's a workshop that we're going to be doing for 4 hours. I'm going to be taking you through a deep dive on the nuts and bolts of sales and marketing. And you're going to walk away from that workshop tomorrow with a sales script, something that you can use to literally develop the techniques for selling your products and services to your prospects, to your clients and customers, to people you come into contact with. And you're going to walk away with a solid template or outline for how you can implement a marketing campaign to get attention, to make contacts, and to get conversions. So if you're interested, once the show ends, please feel free to click the link or go to ramonpreston.com/event. That's ramonpreston.com/event. Also, I want to remind all of you to be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page. If you're a subscriber on our YouTube page, thank you so much for being a part of our family. I really, really, really appreciate it. If you are following us on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram, thank you so much as well. If you're not, please be sure once the show ends to hit the subscribe button on YouTube, hit the like button, or follow on Facebook and LinkedIn, because your support, it means the world to us. Okay, and so we really, really, really need you to do that. Let's see here. Let me make sure that we have everything correct, because I don't see. Let me see here. Tony, do you see we live? Make sure that we're on. Are we on YouTube? Well, we're on YouTube. Yes, we're on. For some reason, we're not showing up on Facebook right now. Okay, so we're not showing up on Facebook right now. Okay, well, guess what?
I just shared the link from YouTube.
Okay, yeah, it is what it is. I don't know why. Facebook does that. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, I want to talk to you about 6 top tips for sales and marketing. So I'm going to give you 3 top tips for sales, and then I'm going to give you 3 top tips for marketing. So these are my 6 top tips for sales and marketing. I'm going to give you 3 for sales, and then I'm going to give you 3 for marketing. So here are my top tips for sales and marketing. I'll give you 3 for sales and 3 for marketing. Let's start with my 3 top tips for sales. Top tip number 1, always have an amazing, keyword, attitude. That's my first top tip for sales. Always have an amazing attitude. Always have an amazing attitude. Now, this should be something that you have even before you get in front of a lead, even before you get in front of a prospect, even before you get into a potential customer or client. You have to make sure that you are working on having an amazing attitude. Now, I'm using the word amazing for attitude because you don't want to just have a good attitude. You don't want to just have a great attitude. You need to have an amazing attitude, because there needs to be something infectious about you as a person that gives people that feeling that whatever the products or services are that you are proposing or presenting to them, if they're anything like you, amazing, guess what? They want to have it. So a lot of times you have to understand as a entrepreneur, as a leader, as an influencer, as a salesperson, even as a marketer, when it comes to the sales that you want to integrate into your marketing or into your business, you have to understand that a lot of times people are not necessarily buying your products and services. A lot of times people are buying into you, and they're going to buy more into you when they're buying more into an amazing attitude that you always have. You have to learn how to become more consistent and more frequent with displaying this amazing attitude, so that even if people don't say yes to you at the time of your presentation, even if people are not even gravitating towards purchasing a product and service that you're proposing to them, if you can get into the presence of people, and when you leave the presence of people, whether they purchase your products or service or not, if you can maintain an amazing attitude, it's going to take you a long way. You may have heard people say it because it's a common saying, your attitude determines your altitude. Well, if there's any truth to that, which we know it is, that means your attitude determines your altitude, which means it's going to have a lot to do to determine with how high you go. So guess what? If your altitude is connected to your attitude, look at your financial altitude. So when it comes to sales, if I have an amazing attitude all the time, no matter what the situation or circumstance is, no matter what the response or lack of response is from leads, prospects, potential customers, and clients, well, my attitude, which is synonymous with altitude, at some point will take me up, because attitude will determine altitude. And I'm not just talking about altitude in terms of climbing the ladder for influence or climbing the ladder to be exposed or to be seen or to be known. I'm talking about your financial altitude. So if my amazing attitude that I always have is directly connected to my altitude, well, it's not just connected to my altitude in terms of me climbing the ladders to be known, to be seen, to be heard, and for people to be aware of who I am. It's going to be connected to my financial attitude. So sales, top tip number 1 is always have an amazing attitude. My top tip for sales number 2 is always agree and understand. Always agree and understand. I know this may sound simple and easy, but guess what? It's not until you're in a conversation with somebody who is contesting your product and service, or who is drilling you and critiquing you on what you're proposing and presenting. It's not until you get in the moment of that critique or that criticism or that question or that heated argument or disagreement when they are arguing with you about your products or service or disagreeing with you. It's not until you get to that point that you're able to see how powerful this second top tip is. That's why you should always agree and understand. So for example, if somebody's saying they don't need it, if somebody's saying they don't want it, if somebody's saying it makes no sense for them to have it, if somebody's saying one thing, if you're talking to a lead or a prospect or even a customer or client, and if they're saying one thing, you should agree with them. It doesn't mean the customer or the prospect or the lead is always right. It just means that even if they're wrong, I'm going to agree with them for the purpose of not creating contention between me and them. Like people who I study that are professional salespeople, that are professional communicators, professional presenters, even people who are in the professional marketing space, even the content that they create is content that is tailored around always agreeing and understanding, because your agreement brings that person closer to you. So it's not that they are necessarily right. It just means that as a professional who understands certain things when it comes to sales and marketing, you have made the conscious decision to agree with that person to diffuse any conflict, any disagreement, to diffuse any friction that could potentially be caused if you're like, well, no, not really. I don't agree with that. Well, no, you're not right about that, or you're wrong. You shouldn't be talking to somebody who you want to buy your product and service that way as if they are wrong about something, even if they're wrong about something. So always agree and understand. Top tip number 3, always respond. Always respond. My wife just talked about the word respond last night in Bible study. Always respond with solutions. Always respond with solutions. So what do you mean by that? Well, okay, first of all, if I have an amazing attitude and I'm able to have a moment or a few minutes, or I have a window, a time slot to give a presentation for the products and services because my amazing attitude has at least won that person over or won that group over for them to hear me out clearly, well then my amazing attitude has to make sure, I have to make sure that my amazing attitude is connected to me agreeing and understanding where they are as customers. not just proving to them that I'm right or they're wrong or that I know more than they know. That's not what the game is. The game or the goal is to make them customers and clients so that we can provide the best services or the best products to them. But in order for them to become clients or customers, we have to have an amazing attitude. We have to always agree and understand. And when there are certain questions or concerns or issues or items that arise that we know require specific solutions, be sure that you're always responding with those solutions. So for example, if someone called here and said, well, Ramon, I'm looking for A, B, and C, I'm not going to, first of all, disagree with them. Well, I don't know what to tell you because I don't know if I can do that and I don't know if we're going to be able to work that out. All I'm doing is disagreeing, misunderstanding, and all I'm doing is reacting to their issue, to their item, to their question, to their concern, as opposed to saying, okay, I understand, I'm agreeing. Yes, I understand. I see where you're coming from. No problem. Well, listen, here's what I'm going to do. If I don't have the answer at that time, let me go ahead and talk to A, B, and C, or let me go ahead and pull the information. And if you don't mind, let me give you a call back. Now, I may have not had the answer or the solution at that time, but what did I just do? Well, first of all, I agreed with them. I had an amazing attitude with them. Now, this is somebody who could be calling about, do you do this? Do you provide that? Or if I do this with you, are you able to do that? Or they're trying to negotiate you down. Oh, I do understand. I see where you're coming from. I get it. I know that may be too much. Well, here's what I need to do. If you can allow me to just speak with A, B, and C, let me go ahead and put A, B, C together, or 1, 2, 3 together, and then I'm going to get back to you and I'll present to you another proposal. These things are going to be essential for you to see an increase in your sales. And guess what? If you can't do this in your sales, your marketing is not going to really be impactful, because you're marketing to get attention. You're marketing to make contacts so that when people come into your ecosystem, or as they like to say, into your sales funnel, guess what? You're able to sell them because you have an amazing attitude, you agree and understand, and you respond with solutions at all times. So those are my 3 top tips for sales. I'm going to give you 3 more for marketing. Number 1, always have an amazing attitude. All right. Number 2, always agree and understand. Number 3, always respond with solutions. You should not be using the word, no, I can't. I'm not going to be able to do it. I don't think that can happen. Don't use that terminology, that language, when you're speaking to people that you want to be customers and clients for your business. Okay, so now let's look at the 3 marketing top tips. I'm going to give you 3. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to write all 3 of these because my marketing one's a little deeper, but I'll be able to pull it off. Marketing top tip number 1, assume nobody sees you. Which, by the way, if you are going to be a part of our sales and marketing workshop tomorrow, I have so much information that I'm going to be sharing with you. I just got my workbook from my marketing consultant. She just came in here and gave it to me a few minutes ago. It's amazing. There's going to be a lot of information. We're going to be doing a big deep dive on sales and marketing. So be sure to click that link once the show ends. Marketing top tip number 1, assume nobody sees you. Let me sit down because I'm getting so excited. Assume nobody sees you. Assume nobody sees you. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, if you're putting content out on social media, if you're sending emails out to your community on a regular basis, if you're posting pictures and posts via text and videos or whatever it is that you're doing, assume nobody sees you. I was performing a coaching call with one of our coaching clients last night. Shout out to Mr. Shedrick if he's watching today from Los Angeles. But we were going through our coaching call last night, and we got on the marketing. We got on the marketing of his business, and I gave him an example, and he just started like smirking, like, wow, that's a good example or analogy. And here's what I asked him. I said, if you had a bottle of water, and because he's on the West Coast, he's close to the Pacific Ocean. I said, if you had a bottle of water and you took that bottle of water with you to the beach, to California Beach, to the Pacific Ocean, and you opened that bottle of water up and you poured that bottle of water in the ocean, do you think that bottle of water would make a difference in that ocean? And he was like, of course not. Well, guess what? That's how the marketing that most of us do is when it comes to social media, when it comes to the internet, when it comes to this global market that's made up of markets and so many billions of people that are in these markets. So you have to assume nobody sees you. That means you cannot put out too much content. To me personally, I would even say you can't send enough emails. You can't send enough text messages, video messages. You can't send enough voice messages. You can't send enough content to your client base, your customer base, or to people that you want to become customers and clients. You should be creating content. You should be posting content. You should be putting information out into the marketplace in a way like you believe nobody sees you. You should assume nobody sees you. This is a top tip for marketing. Assume nobody sees you. Assume nobody sees you. Because whatever it is that you're doing, especially if you just sending one email a week or you sending one text message every once in a while, you might post maybe a 2 or 3 minute video, or maybe go live once a week or twice a week. Nobody sees that. And the few people who do see it are not even the people who are going to buy any products and services from you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you should be putting content out. You should be taking all the information that you have for your products and services, for your expertise, for your experience, for your life, and you should be breaking that content up, and you should be distributing that content, that information, in a way as if you are 100% convinced don't nobody see you. All right? Marketing tip number 2. Marketing tip number 2. Target, this is what you should do. Target qualified, able, and willing. Or should I say, target the qualified. So what I mean by targeting the qualified, the able, and the willing, I actually teach this in our coaching program and in our online training program. I'm gonna be talking about it tomorrow in our marketing segment of our workshop. But the more professional way or sophisticated way to put it is, there's a PCP, there's a perfect client profile. So that means you have to put together a profile for your perfect client, so that when you are crafting your message, when you are telling your story, when you are creating content to distribute, it is going to be targeting the qualified, the able, and the willing. Because there is a perfect client profile of a person or of a group of people, depending on who you're targeting. There is a perfect client profile of a person who represents a client or customer that you want to have, who is qualified, who is able, and who is willing to spend money with you and to do business with you. And so that's who you should target. A lot of times we want to throw nets out, right? And we throw the net out and we say, well, if we catch a couple crabs, we just gonna throw them back, but at least we caught 1 or 2 fish. When the truth is, you could get a rod and reel with a certain hook, with a certain bait, or with a certain lure, and you can throw it in a certain direction at a certain time, and you can start reeling in, boom, And you know every time you get a catch, it's going to be a certain type of fish, right? Well, this is how you have to target the qualified. A lot of times we do marketing and we never sell based off our marketing because the people we targeted are not qualified. You get what I'm saying? Like, I always tell this to my clients. A lot of times the clients that I talk with, they may be more familiar with Facebook than they are, let's say, with YouTube or with LinkedIn or with Instagram or with TikTok or whatever the platforms are. But a lot of times they're so focused on being consumers and targeting the people that they are friends with on social media or people that they know or that think like them, that they never see any sales from their marketing. And one of the reasons why is because they have not developed a perfect client profile, which means they're not targeting the qualified person, the person who is able, and the person who is willing to pay whatever they're asking people to pay for that product and service. This is one of the reasons why you see a lot of people who are not making any sales and they're doing marketing. They hire marketers to help them and they're still not making sales and they got good products and services. What's the problem? Well, they're marketing to the wrong people. All right, marketing top tip number 3. This is good. Give something to like. I'm giving y'all like a cram course in a whole world of information that I typically share with our clients. So if you're missing something in between what I'm sharing, you can always go back, rewatch this video, or you could join me tomorrow and be a part of our workshop where we're going to be doing a deep dive on sales and marketing. Or maybe you want to join our one-year business coaching program and just get coaching for a whole year to become much better at what it is that you do. So give something to like, to know, and to trust. So what do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? Here's what I mean. If you're putting content out on social media, if you're making the decision that you want to increase your sales, right? You want to increase that, and you know it's going to require a strategic way to market in order to increase your sales, right? Well, number one, the content that you're creating, you need to assume nobody sees you. So you need to take like massive aggressive action with just posting and making sure the content is valuable, making sure that what you're sharing is valuable. But then you need to make sure that you have developed a perfect client profile. Who are you targeting? And once you figure out who that perfect client is, now you start targeting that perfect client, because now your content, your value is going to target or be directed towards people who are qualified, people who are able and willing to purchase or to increase your sales because they're going to do business with you. And then number 3, whatever it is that you're giving, because a lot of entrepreneurs make this mistake. They have a lot of good information, but they hide that information behind the sales funnel, right? They hide that information behind the lead page. They hide that information. So they give you like 20 minutes of this only to get you to click the link. And then when you come in, they're like, okay, gotcha. You need to spend $20,000 with me. Well, guess what? I don't mind giving you $20,000 worth of information up front for free. Like, think about it. You can look at my YouTube page, and I have hundreds and hundreds of videos, almost 1,000 videos. And a lot of those videos are full of content on how to start and structure holding companies, how to develop creative tax strategies, how to set goals and schedule. I teach almost everything on those platforms. These are free platforms, and at least for now, I'm not even monetizing from my YouTube page, which means that you can go on there and watch those videos ad free. But now, guess what I'm doing? I'm giving something that you can like, because people have to, when you finally get somebody's attention, they gotta like you. They have to like it, right? And they have to be given something that they want to know. They have to be given something that they want to know. This is like critical for you to give something to like. So I want to give you something to like. I want to give you a reason to say, I like watching this guy. He has a great personality. He's got a beautiful smile. He's hyper, he's amazing, he's extra, he's fun to watch. Hey, whatever the situation is, I want to make sure I give you something to like. Because a lot of people, even before they learn what you're teaching, they're going to gravitate to what they're liking. So you want to give them something to like, but then you don't want to just be full of fluff. You don't want people to just be watching you and it's like, yeah. You're a great person. You got a great personality, but you ain't saying nothing, dog. You ain't giving me no game. Then you got to give them something to know. So make sure that whoever this qualified, able, willing person is, that you're sharing something with them that they actually need to know. And then once you bring them into the know, give them something to trust. Give them something to trust. And one of the easiest ways to create trust with potential clients is for you to just show up on a consistent basis. So those are, ladies and gentlemen, I got to go today because I have a hard stop for an appointment that's on their way right now for me to meet with them. So I have a hard stop. But those are my six top tips for sales and marketing. Those are my 6 top tips for sales and marketing. Number one, what is it? Always have an amazing attitude. That's directly connected to your sales. Number 2, always agree and understand. That's directly connected to sales. Number 3, always respond with solutions. That's directly connected to sales. Now the other 3 are directly connected to marketing. Number 1, assume nobody sees you. You should be showing up every day, all day, as much as you possibly can. Number 2, target the qualified, the able, and the willing. So develop a perfect client profile to make sure that when you're putting content out, when you're sharing valuable information that you know makes up your products and services and represents your business clearly, make sure that it's targeting qualified people, able people, and willing people who know without a shadow of a doubt they want to buy what you are selling. And number 3, give something for people to like, give something for people to know, and give something for people to trust. You got to have some personality. You have to provide knowledge and information, but make sure you're not boring as well. So you have to work on those skill sets to communicate that and to be fun and natural while you're doing it. But then you got to give people something to trust. So you have to be trusted. Your business has to be trusted. And they should be able to Google you and search you on social media to find a lot of consistent work that you're doing because you're continuing to show up. So for those of you that enjoyed this, I want you to drop your biggest takeaway in the comments. I want you to click the link if you want to join me live tomorrow for our sales and marketing workshop. We have an entire deep dive workshop that we're going to be doing on the nuts and bolts of sales and marketing, and we're going to help you put together a sales script, a solid sales process. We're going to help you put together a marketing campaign and a plan so that you can start getting attention, making contacts, and creating conversions. And for those of you that are interested in our online training program or our 1-year business coaching program that we're about to discontinue very, very soon, feel free to reach out to me today. All you have to do is text the word blueprint or the word coaching. The word blueprint or the word coaching to 404-478-7213. Hey, I love y'all. I have to go. I have a hard stop, a 1 o'clock appointment, but I appreciate all of you for being a part of the Ramon Preston Show. And I look forward to seeing you Monday, same place, same